Small talk, yeah. Talk about the things people do and say. Whatever gets talked about, it's okay.
We have an action-packed show for you tonight. But first, we're going to have our small talk panel. And usually I have Drew Presta and Danny, my double Ds, on my show tonight, but they're both out of town. But we do have a special guest, Melissa J. Yay! And as she comes on stage, I want to sing her happy birthday because today is her birthday. So let's go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Melissa J. Happy birthday to you. On the Small Talk Show. Yes!
And if anybody wants to get me anything my size, it's cocaine. Or crystals.
Melissa J, everybody! You know, me and Melissa met, we had a very epic night, the first night that we ever met. Would you like to tell them the story?
Yes, it's funny and it even relates to what's going on tonight. So it's my birthday. I went out and treated myself to a new wig. And while I was backstage, I was touching up my lipstick. And somehow I got a, pea-sized thing of lipstick on this side of my wig. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, I kind of look like I fell headfirst into a strawberry patch. And it just happened 30 seconds ago. And what that relates to is just the first time that we hung out. We won't get into details, but no, it's not like that. It's not like that. But I met Lila. Let's just say you made a mistake.
Well, I mean, it's history, but
Yes.
I was drunk at the Comedy Store and I got into a confrontation with Jeff Ross.
What? What the fuck? You never told me this.
Yeah, basically I was just upset because I was like, you don't know who I am. I'm Lila Hart, you know, those things. And I was escorted out by the Comedy Store security and I ran into Melissa J.
We got introduced by
Kenny Lyon.
Kenny Lyon.
Kenny Lyon said, could you please take my drunk friend home? And Melissa J did.
And Lila was so awesome. She wanted somebody to hang out with, and so she said, hey, look, I'll get you a Red Bull. I'll put a full tank of gas in your car. Can you just hang out with me? And it all relates to what happened to me backstage. I was telling her just about, there's a story in rock and roll, this guy Keith Moon, you know the Muppets, you know Animal, the Muppet?
Yeah.
It's based on Keith Moon, who's an excellent drummer, really cool dude. And he had this saying when they used to break things, and their management was like, don't break the things, we can't afford it. And he said that's the motto of show business, is that you have to give the people what they want. And I think that's what separates us as comics, why we're such a different breed. For everyone else on the planet, your mistakes are mistakes, things you shouldn't do. But for us, our mistakes, that's our art. Yeah, that's what people want. They want a train wreck in a comic. And so that's the one thing I told her, just be who you are and give the people what they want.
Give the people what they want, you know, give them a motherfucking show.
And that's why I didn't bother to clean my hair too much. And my eyeliner is also starting to bump up on the top of my eyes. I don't know if it's starting
Looks
to...
great.
I'm coming apart at the seams. And rather than tidy up, I was like, hey, let's give the people what they want.
A motherfucking show.
Hell yeah.
Yes. And I just want to thank you because this was 3 years ago and I was so upset about the situation, but her telling me that, no matter what, the show must go on, you just gave me a lot of strength. And 3 days later, I did go back to the Comedy Store. I made my amends. I apologized to all the security guards, my wild antics. I had a heart-to-heart with Jeff Ross, and now he knows my name, so it's great.
So you got that going for you.
It's great, but I think, sometimes shit happens and you just go roll with the punches, do the damn thing. We're all
and
here.
That's the beauty of comedy, is
Well-
that, be late on your bills, Hold on. I got up at 3 today. In the afternoon, by the way. Yes.
I wanted to ask ask you, okay, so for the small talk segment, you know, we talk about interesting things that are happening in the media and just in the world. Usually we talk about disability, but tonight I wanted to ask you about, you know, Dwayne Wade, the Miami Heat superstar, was out at the Pride Parade with his young son who recently just came out. And I wanted to know, like, what impact does a person of his profile have on the community at large accepting the LGBTQ community?
I think it's great. I think it's awesome. And I think, you know, it's just one more step moving us forward. And I think what that shows to me is just that the beauty of family. And that family, it's larger than demographics or style or music or, you know, a lot of people, you might not want to hear this, but, you know, even politics, as much as we see, you know, I remember Dick Cheney embracing his lesbian daughter, and I thought that was one of the largest things that I'd ever seen. And I see a lot of people who, their family, their politics don't line up, and, you know, they block them on Facebook, they've isolated them, and, you know, I'm dealing with something that, as my parents are getting older, learning just to rise above politics. And that's something I'd recommend. That's family. And as large as what, you know, Dwayne Wade is doing, and I think just in our own lives, we just gotta, you know, the people that raised us, if, you know, if they voted for Trump, you don't gotta agree with that, but that's, family is more important than any of that. You know, lifestyle, politics, anything like that, and much respect to Dwayne Wade.
Yes, Jay, I'm so happy that you're spending your birthday here with us.
Me too, me too.
Yes, happy birthday again.
And more people to give me presents.
Yeah. and before you leave the couch, can you tell us about your book?
Yes, I wrote a book. It's called Man on the Street. And ironically, it has nothing to do with being transgender. It's all about dealing drugs. But the two main characters, they're in Philly, and they're in their early 20s, and they're looking for kids to sell weed to, so they go take class at Temple University. They take Psychology 101. And as they're chasing down this deadbeat, the main character has to beat up his childhood best friend, over $700, and on the way to do that, they begin applying all these high-end Freudian concepts to the junkies and hookers, and it's basically, it's a high-end philosophical essay on low-end living. Nice. And I've certainly done my share of that, that's for sure.
Well, be sure to check out Man on the Streets.
Yes. Thank you, Lila. Give it up for Lila. So good to know you. You are one of the largest people in the scene. I gotta say that. Thank you.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Happy birthday! Give it up for Melissa J! That was fucking incredible! Wow. Yeah. Guys, tonight was exactly what I wanted.